Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I am Emily, the creator here at Emily's Art Journey. We are going to be finishing the painting process for my snake plant that we drew the other day. So, and then next time I will pick a different plant and we will draw that and paint it as well. So this is part 2, and I hope you will come along with me and paint my little guy or paint one of your plants. Today I'm actually going to be using the terrain palette from Prima. I will link everything in the description box. I've already put them out here. This one is this color here, and it's called Fern. And then this one here is here, and that is Vine Leaf. And then this one here is here, and that is Willow Tree. And then down here, I actually did a mixture of this sassafras and purple smoke tree. And then I actually also added a little bit of the vine leaf to kind of get the color for kind of the dirt. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing today. So let's just go ahead. Again, I'm using we drew this in my gravy watercolor pad, 100% cotton, little sketchbook here. And I will be using, I have out my Polina Bright O or 0 size. I also have my Princeton number 6 round, and I have my Princeton number 10 round. So those are the 3 brushes that I kind of got out that I will be using. And then I have obviously some water, and I do have marbles in it, so if you kind of hear that sound, that's what that is. And I think we will just go ahead and jump in. So nothing is like one solid color, obviously. I can see a few different things, like I see yellows, light greens, some dark greens. So we're just gonna kind of roll with it and kind of tackle it. Again, this isn't realism. This is an ink and wash type of thing. So it's just kind of, you're getting the essence of whatever the subject matter is. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Put that up there so you can see it. Okay. I've already, like I said, we drew this out already, kind of already got rid of the pencil lines. So I'm going to begin with a kind of a wash of this color, the willow tree. Any of the areas that I see kind of the lightest, like it's the lightest color. So I'm gonna go ahead and got my brush wet. I'm gonna go in with some water first, get that extra water out of my brush. This already has water mixed in it. And then I'm going to go in and just add that color. Kind of let it do its own thing. You can also, instead of getting it wet first, you can always go in and just put some paint down, kind of rinse it out a little bit, add some more water, and then just kind of drag that down a little bit. Okay, and why this is wet, I'm actually going to go in with a little bit of this color and just kind of add, how it has these little squigglies. I'm just kind of dropping in a little bit of paint to kind of start adding that texture a little bit. And then for these, and we kind of changed those a little bit, obviously, but I'm gonna go in with this fern color first. do things kind of methodically, if you will. So I start with just this area, and I'm gonna go ahead and then actually drop in a little bit of this darker color instead of just painting all of it, because I don't really want it to run together. So I like to be a little bit more methodical. So I don't know if you've heard of Polina Bright. She's based out of somewhere in Europe, I believe. Her brushes are a little bit expensive, but she had a really good sale not too long ago, and her brushes are amazing. Just on a side note there, let's see here, we'll do this one here. Do you guys have a favorite watercolor brush that you like? I tend to use the Polina Bright, and I tend to use my Princeton brushes probably the most. I think when I first started painting, I went through a lot of different brushes, like trying to figure out what I wanted, and I started with some kind of cheap ones and found out fast that I wasn't really a fan. So I think kind of investing in a nice brush is a good way to start for sure. So I'm just mixing a little bit of that fern color and the vine leaf together just to get a little bit of a darker color than just the straight up fern. And then I'm just kind of adding a little bit here to this one. And again, because this is wet already, I dab any extra moisture off of my brush and then just go in with the paint. I'm gonna add a little bit more here. Watercolor always dries lighter than when you first put it on. Right? And then I'm gonna go in with a mixture of both of those, I think, for this one. I'd love to know in the comments if you have a snake plant, and if you do, if you've had a lot of luck caring for it. I've actually been pretty lucky. I've had mine for over 10 years, I think. Seems to be fairly forgiving when I don't water it enough or water it a little bit too much. I think I've kind of found a balance a little bit, but I do love plants. I have definitely killed my fair share of plants, which makes me so sad. But I've been kind of if one dies, I've been replacing them with a fake plant sometimes, just because I love the greenery and I love the way it looks, but I feel terrible when I kill one, so I don't always replace it. You have to tell me if you feel bad too. And do you name your plants? I name all my plants. I have an app on my phone that I track them. Picture This, I think is what it's called. It's a great little app. Love it. It's also great because when I'm out walking around or whatever and I come across a plant, I can be like, oh, what's that? And look it up, which is fantastic. Let's see. This one next. And when I'm going into these tight places, I just use a little bit less pressure so that I can keep a little bit more control of the paint being released, so I don't go outside the lines really. And I tend to just be kind of a free painter. I've said this before, where I just kind of like to grab different colors, whatever I kind of feel like. And this is supposed to be kind of just a loose, fun project, so I don't really want to overthink it too much. But I thought this would be a super fun palette to use. I do have quite a few Prima palettes. This one's kind of fun, I think, just because it's literally terrain, so it has some really nice greens, and you can make your own browns and, well, lots of colors. So again, this is just kind of our first layer where we're Kind of getting those colors just put in a little bit here. I'm gonna let that kind of dry for a few minutes, and then I'm actually gonna go ahead and I'm gonna color the pot in. And I'm just gonna, I didn't actually get that color out, but I'm just gonna use one of the ones that's kind of already in this set. I think I'm just gonna go with Maple, which is this color right here. Get that stirred up. I always have a piece of watercolor paper next to me, so as I'm changing colors or checking colors, I can check it on my paper first just to see if I like it or if I think I need more water or less water. So let's go with that. All right, gonna get it wet first. I like the wet on wet technique. I feel like it allows the watercolor to, it just diffuses naturally, and I think it's really pretty just to see kind of what it's gonna do all on its own. So I got that wet, kind of dab off any extra. Just put in a nice little wash here of this color. It's very vibrant. It's fun to just use a single palette as well. This might not be a color that I would normally choose for myself, but it's fun to just, you know, push yourself in to use different things, different colors. And generally when they put a palette together, they are colors that would kind of go together, be friends, look nice together. So I'm gonna get a little bit of more concentrated bit here just to drop in a little bit more right under that rim where it would be in shadow. You can see here the bottom, this whole part is a little bit darker, so just gonna go ahead and drop some of that in there, and then a little bit also right on the inside here. Okay, there we go. I'm actually going to move to my number 6. We're going to go back up here and kind of start putting in a little bit more detail, if you will. So I'm going to set this to music, and you guys can just kind of watch me for right now and get this little guy painted, okay? for a couple of these darker areas, I actually ended up taking some of the purple smoke tree and a little bit of the vine leaf. Then I actually introduced a little bit of this balsam color for, like, you can see these have a little bit of a different hue to them. So I kind of introduced that. Okay, so I'm going to kind of leave that for a minute, and I'm actually going to go back down here to the pot. Got my color already mixed up here still. And we're using that maple color. I'm not going to get it wet first this time. I'm just going to go in. And directly paint in the darker color. Then I rinse my brush, and then with it just being slightly damp, just a little bit of water, we'll go right along the edge of what I just put down to soften it up a little bit, and then it will just diffuse naturally. And I'm going to do the same thing up here. And over here. These are smaller areas, so I'm not going to worry as much about diffusing, but if you look here, most of this is kind of more in highlight. Maybe a little bit here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and this mixture that I kind of created, this brown mixture, go ahead and get that reactivated. It kind of dried as I'm sitting here. Sometimes if I put a lot of paint on, I'm like, okay, I just want to kind of do a wash, then I'll just rinse my brush, have it be damp, and then just spread around that color that I just put in instead of adding more. A little bit more here. Okay, and then I'm just going to go in, just touch in with the tip of my brush to add, you know how the soil has like little bumps and different colors in there. A little bit of a larger brush here. I'm going to go ahead and start using my 10" for the ground, and for the sky I might put a sky color in. We have this blue shadow color in this set, so I'm going to activate that. So I know I have a line kind of drawn down here, but I think because of the way we're looking at it, I'm actually going to shift the sky up to a little bit higher. I'm going to have it actually be sitting on like something purple. Again, just using a limited palette could be fun sometimes. It's a little freeing because you just kind of assign colors that maybe you wouldn't use normally, but I think it's kind of fun. I had no plan for this today when I started filming this video. I just kind of decided to be free and just go with the flow. Give this one a little bit more detail as far as the little grooves or bumps or pattern, I guess is what it is. It's not bumpy. Little pattern. I need to darken these sides in a little bit. I did pay attention to, for the most part, like the angles so that you can tell that it's kind of folding in on itself a little bit. Yeah, you know, it's not perfect. I, tried the pot could be a little bit different, but again, this is just to have fun, to use new colors, to be loose, to try to use your observation skills, and just get used to drawing. So I had fun with this, and I look forward to the next one. I'm not sure which plant I'm going to draw next and paint, but I look forward to this series, and I hope that you do too. Comment below. I would love to know if you prefer the sped up videos where I just always put it to music and kind of you just kind of watch my process, or if you like me to talk you through and have it more like a in real time type of video. I'd love to hear what you or see what you think, and I'd love your feedback. So I look forward to painting with you and drawing with you in the next video, and I hope you have a great day or night, and I will see you very soon. Bye.